What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another news update. Today the topic is Cedar Point, as they announced today that Wicked Twister would be biting the dust, or in this case the sand. This was sort of done in shocking fashion, as the announcement was pretty sporadic and random, as we just learned about it this morning. So this sort of caught some people off guard, including myself, even though I wouldn't really have been surprised if you told me Cedar Point would be removing a roller coaster, because then I'd probably say yes, Wicked Twister would be one of the first on that list. But today we'll be speculating on what this could mean for the future of not only Cedar Point but other parks possibly in the Cedar Fair chain. But before we hop into the video, make sure to leave this video a like, as it greatly helps us out against the YouTube algorithm. And make sure to subscribe to my channel for more coaster news and speculation coming very soon. Well, that being said, let's dig into this announcement. Alright, so Wicked Twister is getting removed, so that obviously is going to clear some land out for Cedar Point. This coaster takes up a very small footprint, at least compared to other coasters in the park, so it won't really free up that much land, but there definitely will be some space to work with in the future, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Secondly, it begs the question, what will actually happen to Wicked Twister? The first option is obviously it being scrapped and just thrown in the scrapyard and totally being done with. But the more likely option, in my opinion, is that it'll get relocated to another Cedar Fair park. I think this would make a lot of sense because this coaster is only about 19 years old, and it definitely still has some juice left in it. Cedar Fair has also done this before with Possessed at Dorney Park coming from Geauga Lake. So if it's getting relocated, then what park is it going to go to? Well, my money's definitely on California's Great America. We saw a little while back that California's Great America had an impulse coaster in their plans for expansion, and no one really makes custom impulse coasters anymore, so this would make a lot of sense. In all honesty, I think this coaster would have been removed in 2020 had it not been for the COVID-19 pandemic, and would have been relocated to California's Great America for 2021 or possibly 2022. But now, given the rise of revenue at a lot of parks, I think California's Great America is going to be getting this coaster in 2023. But I think there's a shot that it could come in 2022, which would be pretty nice for that park. That'll probably be filler for a B&M Hypercoaster or something, but it'll be a nice addition for that park that is growing very quickly. I personally enjoyed Wicked Twister when I rode it the other day, so it'd definitely be a very fun addition, and the GP would definitely love that. Now, what a lot of people are probably more focused on after seeing this announcement is what could replace Wicked Twister. People were kind of flipping out that Cedar Point hasn't announced a coaster yet, and that Gerstlauer went to Glenwood Caverns. So I think the general consensus is that Cedar Point is due for a roller coaster. I definitely don't see this coming in 2022 due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. But like I said earlier, I think Wicked Twister would have been removed in 2020. Which would have in turn resulted in a 2022 roller coaster edition for Cedar Point if we're going with that, which would have been 4 years after Steel Vengeance, so I think that would make a lot of sense. Now, like I mentioned, Wicked Twister does not take up that much space, so if we are just basing it off the space that Wicked Twister took up, we're pretty limited on our options. I could definitely see a family-style wooden coaster, possibly from GCI, going in this spot. But I honestly think Cedar Point could be going even bigger. I think it is very possible Cedar Point could remove the Ferris wheel and some of the flat rides around it, or relocate them somewhere throughout the park to make way for something bigger. I'm not sure quite what they'd be looking for, but I definitely do think a Gerstlauer could still be a possibility, although unlikely. I also think a B&M Flyer could be possible, or I think possibly a T-Rex down the line could be a possibility. Now, with something like a T-Rex, they probably need to free up even more space, so I wouldn't be surprised if they worked onto the beach or possibly even built something over the water to add further real estate to expand upon. But for now, I think there's probably just going to be some entertainment replacing it temporarily. Cedar Point has really stepped up some of their entertainment offerings throughout the last few years, so I definitely think that could continue with this. But I definitely think something big is on the horizon for Cedar Point. But I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you guys think there'll be a big replacement for this ride? Or are we looking at a minor addition? Make sure to tell me all those thoughts down in the comments below. And if you think Wicked Twister is going to get relocated or not. And if yes, where do you think it's going to be relocated to? Well, with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more news updates coming soon and more coverage on this story. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.